Hello everyone, Sessler something. There's going to be a name soon. We have some good ideas. We just need to mull it over ourselves. Definitely by the beginning of 2013, this will have a proper name. So, sit. Please feel free to keep on suggesting because there's some awesome ones and there's ones that we're never going to use that I still think are kind of awesome for many reasons. Now, for those of you that follow me on Twitter, you may have noticed I had a small tantrum over the weekend in trying to set up my Wii U. As a result, I am not going to give you my Wii U experience just yet, because I would like to now have some time sitting down in a non-setup experience with my Wii U, so that is something that you can anticipate down the line. But I want to talk about something else that happened over my weekend this week. I'm still in a transitional phase. I've moved in to an apartment with my wife. We're trying to just kind of organize everything, and because San Francisco is a small, densely populated city as opposed to Los Angeles, I'm trying to figure out how to take the space we had there and make it fit into what we have here. It's been a wonderfully miserable experience. Friday, I had to come to a dark realization that all of my games, all of my movies, all of those things that come in cases, there wasn't going to be enough room for those in addition to all the books that I've also acquired. I am an English major, so is my wife. You can only imagine the obnoxious library that we have. And so a harsh reality set upon. I wasn't going to get rid of the games, but I could get rid of the cases that the games are in. I went and got, big binders. Yes, everyone pointed out. They were not filled with women, but they were going to be filled with games. Far, far less creepy. It was a painful experience, to say the least. I was being given words of encouragement by my wife, like, you can do it, baby. You can do it. No, you're doing the right thing. This is a great job, a great thing you're doing. And, I filled up 5 binders, movies, and, games. And it ended up, and this is kind of shocking, about 15 trash bags worth of cases. The amount of waste that definitely comes from the current packaging of a lot of physical media is something that I don't even want to know how many landfills it's actually filling up right now, or it will be when people decide to go my route and put it into binders. That's not what I really want to focus on, though it obviously invites all these thoughts about what's going to happen with direct digital downloads of games going on forward. What I really couldn't get over is how anxious it made me. I somehow thought I was doing something wrong. Now let's think about it. What's really in most game cases? The disc, and especially if it's coming from a place like EA, you get kind of a pamphlet that says, you bought a game, put it in the drive. Then you can find out how to play it. We're really not seeing much. We are getting our special editions, but I somehow felt I was doing something wrong. It really was this anxious thing, and I think there's some kind of genetic male encoding where we like to collect things. We like to have those things. We get comfort by seeing the things that we amassed. It says, look, I've done that. I have these things. And once I got over the hump of what I was doing was somehow wrong, and I got into what I was doing was somehow going to be highly efficient and probably going to make it easy for me to actually catalog all the games and movies that I have, I felt a lot better. But I really couldn't get over the fact that on a very primal level, it didn't feel right. And I really started to play into something that has bothered me about games. And not as much game journalism, though this was practiced quite a bit in the early years when I started out. And it's something that I like to call the fetishization of minutia. That we kind of get obsessed over these little things, these sort of minor distinguishing characteristics, or what kind of, I believe, Freud would call the narcissism of petty differences. And this would be, I got the special version of something that has this cover and there are only 3 available in the limited edition, or I have this figurine, or the costumes that we can unlock. I mean, there used to be eras where you would say, we have an exclusive, look at Chun-Li's alternate costume. And it is, in a word, it's stupid, actually, because it distracts from what the game is supposed to be about. If you look at a game as just some kind of commercial product that gives you all these sort of things, then you're really kind of denying that it has any value as a piece of culture or as a piece of art. And if you really get obsessed about which one of these special downloadable doodads, be it from GameStop or Best Buy or Bob's House of Interactive Things, and once again, it distracts from what should be just the interest in what the core game is. What is the experience in that core game supposed to be like? It distracts from the discussion that we should all be having of just kind of what's happening with the medium, all these complex and interesting and nuanced things that are happening in the game design, and we're only talking about special editions. or we're talking about how we hate special editions, or whether it's worth getting, or whether or not we're really angry that I have to download this thing that I don't get in my special edition. It really starts to sound really juvenile and rancorous and completely kind of it's just a cacophony of if not whining, then just kind of blather. And it's interesting because going back to Mike being so obsessed about the cases I have my DVDs in, it's playing on something innate that I don't think that we're all kind of stepping back and becoming aware of. And I really feel that we're all being kind of manipulated. And if we all kind of wise up, realize this isn't that important, and that what's really so much more fascinating, so much more valuable, so much more nourishing is the experience of playing the game itself, I think that we'd find ourselves older, wiser, and far more satisfied in the experience overall. All right, there's other stuff coming up on the site this week. Max is going to talk more about Far Cry 3, because apparently there's something here about virtual animals, and it can be very much indulged in Far Cry 3. I don't know why we're letting that actually get put on the internet. Also, Anthony has a new episode of Random Encounter, and of course, Casual Friday. There might be even more. The best way to find out about it is to subscribe. YouTube.com/Rev3Games. You can also go to iTunes, and of course, you can go to goodoldrevision3.com.